I do believe we are live. Trying this thing right here, seeing how that goes. Do? Maybe. Oh? Are we doing the thing? Alright. If everything is going well, this may be our first uh simulcast stream. Um Trying to figure some things out on my end. Um It says that we are live, but offline. Alright, hold on. Let's refresh the page. See what that does. Oh, okay. It looks like we are live on YouTube and Twitch. Hopefully that is not illegal to say. This is going to be my first time doing both. To say that I am excited would be a massive understatement. Um, we are doing the thing though, and I am going to jump right in without too much further ado. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Our Life, Beginning and Always. This is a game that has come highly recommended to me. So I'm currently in the process of trying to learn how to use Ren'Py. Um, as someone who thoroughly enjoys video games and would like to create some of my own. And so Our Life has come recommended to me as one of the very best examples of a visual novel. So I know relatively little about what we are about to get into. All I know is that apparently the game follows me as the main character as I interact with another character over the course of, I think, 15 years from like the ages of 8 to 23. It's apparently very, very customizable, very, very idiosyncratic, individualistic. So my playthrough will look vastly different than anyone else's. So if you decide that you want to play it for yourself, I say go for it, give it a shot. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and dive right in. I have no idea what to expect, and so we are just going to hit new file. All right. Welcome to Our Life, Beginning and Always. There are various ways you can customize and interact with the game. This tutorial is an overview of how certain features work. You can read the full tutorial from the main menu to learn about everything in detail. Okay. To start off, the game is divided into 4 time periods called steps. Step 1, childhood. Step 2, adolescence. Step 3, young adulthood. And Step 4, adulthood. Our life is further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. Those are called moments. Moments can be played in any order or skipped entirely. You move on to the next step whenever you want by selecting that summer is ending. Steps 1 through 3 include 5 moments each, and even more can be unlocked by purchasing DLCs. Some are out now, and other DLCs will release later on. Step 4 is an epilogue and doesn't include moments. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regard to the character you play as. You determine nearly everything about the main character: name, appearance, personality, pronouns, interests, skills, their relationship with major characters, and so on. You can decide to change the details as time goes on, with a few exceptions. Your last name, skin tone, and eye color can't be altered in one set. Makes sense. Much of the MC's basic traits are determined on a character creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available on the screen. As mentioned, one of the decisions you'll get to make for your character is selecting a name. You can type in any name you like, or you can pick a preset name. Preset options are called voiced names because the name will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. You'll get to hear him say your name as you play through the story. Only the default name Jamie is included in the base game. Hundreds more can be added by getting a free voiced name expansion DLC. I'm gonna look into that. It's awesome. The full collection of names is separated out as a DLC because of how large it is. If you're not interested in that feature, you don't need to get it. Okay. Each name of the DLC belongs to or was selected by someone who supported this project. That's so cool. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Okay. Um, on the character creation screen, there's a cute doll you can decorate to get an idea of what your MC looks like with the different traits put together. Not all of the things you decide about the MC appear on the doll. The script referencing what you've decided for the MC is the main way those decisions influence the game. Our life has a first-person perspective, so your character doesn't appear next to other characters, right? You only see the MC as the decorative doll and in special cut-in CG images. Okay. The cut-in CG images only appear if certain choices are made. It's not possible to see any during a playthrough. There's also a second type of special MC-based screen, the interest/comfort screen. Unless you get DLCs, the game has one love interest, Cove Holden. He grows up with the MC, and the interest/comfort screen is crucial for determining how that plays out. Interest level sets up how much you like him. There are 4 levels: disinterest, fond, crush, and love. Love is only available starting in step 3, and if you are fond or crush in step 2. Okay. Comfort determines how you generally react to things when it comes to him. There are 3 levels: nervous, relaxed, and direct. Your level of interest and comfort will set up the type of dynamic your character has with the love interest, which you did in the past will influence the presence, and feelings can change over time. You get to pick your interest/comfort near the beginning of every step. Comfort can switch between the 3 levels as you please. Your interest can only stay the same or increase. Okay. Your current level of interest will become the new lowest option on the screen in the future. For example, if you decide to be fond in step 1, disinterest will not be available on the screen in steps 2 and 3, which will make fond the bottom level for your relationship. Interest level has an impact when it comes to physically interacting with Cove, while growing up things are rather simple. Okay. If you get along with one another and have a close relationship, you can choose to touch him, and Cove will occasionally interact with the MC in lighthearted or comforting ways. But starting in step 3, touching can become more romantic or suggestive if you're at crush or love. To make sure things go nicely for that, there will be an extra choice to determine initiative level, and a bonus menu tutorial that goes along with the choice to explain the feature in more detail. Okay. Basically, even if you decide you like Cove, the game won't force you to act on those feelings. Gamer time indeed. Welcome, welcome, and so glad to have you here. You can always choose not to get together with him, choose not to accept or give romantic gestures, etc. If you do decide to date Cove, though, you can't break up with him later. Okay. Interest comfort gets the basics down, but it's the choices that appear throughout the normal game event that decide what actually happens between the MC and Cove, and it isn't only the MC who is impacted by your decision. Cove grows and changes over the years. How he's treated and what he experiences help shape who he becomes. In steps 2 and 3, Cove's personality, appearance, and interests will vary based on what happened in the previous step. It's something of a mystery exactly how your decisions end up changing him. You can try to guess as you go along. Or if you prefer, you can also just design your ideal Cove directly by using the Cove Creator option that pops up at the beginning of steps 2 and 3. Making the choices you want is always more important than making a choice because you feel like you have to in order to get a certain result. Yeah, I was about to say, like, at least for my first playthrough, I plan to just play through as, like, authentically as humanly possible. Like, no real trying to get certain results. I'm just gonna play through and see what happens. I'm really excited about this. When a choice does appear, usually you'll see that the hovering cursor over an option shows a certain color: yellow, blue, or green. The colors aren't related to specific points or effects. They're only there to give a bit of insight on the tone or emotion of the choice, since text alone can be potentially read in more than one way. Right? No, apparently this is one of the most, like, interactive, like, the choices you make change the way that everything goes. Apparently, Highly idiosyncratic. Apparently, every playthrough is different. I'm really excited. Also, I'm thankful for the tone indicators. Because God forbid, yeah, I've definitely played games where I know there was one where I just lightheartedly said, like, hey, you probably didn't tell this person the full truth. And then my character was like, you're a liar, a thief, a cheat. Of course you lied to him. And I'm like, that is not what I meant to say. So I'm glad that we have tone indicators um, to make sure that my words come out the way I want them to. Blue tends to be casual or straightforward, yellow more emotive, reactive, and green less certain or uncommitted. Ooh, that green is I'm very curious. Um, I have not seen the Glass Hymn video. I am not familiar with that one. Though there are hundreds of options in our life, and not every choice menu falls in line with that pattern. Picking just one color every time doesn't give a gameplay benefit. Only stick to a certain type if that's what you happen to like, otherwise switch between them freely. Always pick yellow, never pick yellow, pursue romance right from the start. Never romance, love interest, be disagreeable or amiable. None of them will lead to a bad ending. None of them lead to a bad ending. That's especially interesting to me. Um, Given how many of this sort of game has a clear good ending, bad ending, true ending, etc. You're welcome to enjoy the events and shape the story without reservation. And then, if you like, you can play again to try something new. There's only ever more good content to discover. That is a brilliant, um, excuse me, brilliant. I love that. So, there's no oh no, I'm gonna. Most branching pathways I've played have had very decidedly bad endings, and so this is going to be interesting. Where it's like, what do I choose, knowing that I can't go wrong? Ooh, honestly, that's a life motto right there. What will I do with my choices if it looks like I can't go wrong? Or if I know or believe or whatever that I can't go wrong, that every decision I make is on its way towards a different happy ending. Obviously, that's not the way that real life works, but I really love that mindset. Anyhow, we hope you have a nice time with our life. Thank you for playing. I am stoked. Let's go. Okay. Um, I, in true brand fashion, am going to go with arysn0w. Harry Last Snow. Last Snow is such a um IRL use she they pronouns. But I specifically want to honor the fact that this game has they them pronouns and go with they them exclusively, even though I in real life tend to use she her more than they them. I use both and I'm stoked. Okay. Face shape. I think I technically have an oval face. I also do have a chubby face. I've got cheeks for days. For the time being, I'm gonna stick with. Listen, I can always change. I'm gonna stick with oval. I'm gonna go brown. Also, it should be noted, I'm not strictly trying to create a one-to-one representation of myself so much as I'm trying to go for the vibes. Um, Ooh, we've got the anime colors too. Ooh, I'm gonna go with purple for now. We're changing all of this. Um, you know me so well. I really like the wavy hair we just passed, I think. We have so many options. I'm not gonna lie, I am always a sucker for a good. Okay, Scrappy 2 is a top contender. Ooh. Okay, hold on. The two tone is. Oh. Oh, there are so many. Oh my. Okay, so. Oh, this is so cool. There are so many options. I am always a sucker for a good character creation. Okay, so I think we circled back around. I really do like the curled hair, but wait, we can have a different front and back color anyway. But it doesn't show up. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and choose this color, black pink, in your area. Let's see. Um, it looks like. Hold on. Oh, I'm a bit confused by the back color. Um, I wish. Is there a way to rotate? I don't think at this point. Um, oh, there we go. Okay. I didn't have the back turned on. Ooh, okay, okay. We do have options. So I'm gonna go back to the curly one that I really liked. Um, okay, this is cool. Oh, the possibilities are, and oh, there are so many options. Okay, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. I think I actually. Okay, so I want for the time being, I'm gonna go with the short one here. Hair front color. I don't know if I want full like. Okay, I think whatever color I have this one. All right, hold on. First of all right. So if we have the back color. Interesting. Okay. Okay, with that being the case, hold on. If we, I think instead, okay, I'm intrigued. I'm also, hold on. Do I, hold on. If instead I have the front color be red, oh wait, hold on. Excuse me. Ooh, okay. I think We are working towards a winning combination here. I don't know where we start, so I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna lie, I love that these specific pigtails almost give angel wing vibes. Um, okay, short one is a top contender. That's cute as. I really like the pigtails. Hold on. I also love the. Okay. They are going to make me actually have to make a decision, and that's rude. Oh. And it looks like these are braided as well. I do wish there were a way to narrow down. Okay, but I also like the. I'm gonna spend the entire stream just. Character creating. You know what? I think I can change them later again. I think I am just going to stick with the smooth. Um, as much as the some of the pigtail options really jump out at me. Do I want? All right, let's see. Are we sticking with oval? Yeah, I like that. Um, okay, I do like the sharp, and I also just like the round. Surprisingly, I think I'm just going to go with the round. I'm sticking with the purple. I really like the purple. Um, yeah, I think that's good. All right, change page. Okay. Oh, you can have oh, this is so okay. Hold on. That's really cool. Where's this? Where is this one? It might be hidden by my hair. Oh, that's so cute. Listen, I have always had. I almost. Listen, my hands. These are not small hands. We gotta do the thing. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with the half oval. I do like the rectangle, but I do. Okay. Do I want to give cheek freckles as well? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Do I have freckles in real life? No. Um, but I fucking love freckles. We're doing it. Okay. Um, Ooh. I don't know. Um, I kind of wish I could see what it looked like in advance. Um, sure, skirts. I'm gonna say all of the above. I won't wear pants just to, I don't know. So I know for the first bit, the character is 8 years old, and so simply because of like puberty things, I'm going to say that they're not for now. Now, later on, when I'm an adult or whenever, I don't know, I actually don't know when like top surgery is acceptable to have done. Not as like a like moral personal pick, but just like I know bottom surgery is usually 18 plus. But yeah, no. Um, very, very curious. As much as I want to have necklaces, I don't. No, I'm doing necklace. You know what? Yeah, yeah. Um, I think that's everything. Um, and we're in. Okay. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander too far off outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. Love the fact that I have 2 moms, like just like little already, like what, like 4 lines in. It's like if you didn't know, now you know. This is a supportive game. Um, no, no, I totally get. I think they added top scars in The Sims 4 recently, if I'm not mistaken. Could bump anything that's a, valid, valid. But no, I think The Sims 4 recently added top surgery scars. I know a lot of pickers do, and so again, very, very curious to see how things progress over the course of the game. Um, that included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Boulevard, but Sunset Bird. I don't know why that's gonna trip me. I automatically think Sunset Boulevard. But they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses that got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Already, hold on, let me look how do I look at the history log? There we go. No, already Sunset Bird sounds pretty magical. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. Didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyway. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same one, or you were too anxious to say hi back to most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you all. Nah, I say hello. Oh, I see the color. Yeah, no. You enjoyed learning all about where they were visiting from and hoped to visit those places one day too. But today there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. Don't like that. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people you didn't recognize really, really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your moms called it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your mom would talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. You hadn't exactly been listening at the time. You think it can be okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. You remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite then. Hmm. I'm sticking with the middle. The middle seems very, very like my speed right now. You weren't sure about this man yet. Yeah. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he's blocking the way. Yeah, I don't like that. If he's in front of my front door, that's not cool. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered, or but you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what's going on. Listen, if you were anywhere but in front of my front door, I'd be like, hey. But now I'm like, well, why are you here? You slowed down, your mind racing for ideas on how to get past him unseen, but it was too late to escape. It was a split second where your eyes met and you took in a shaky breath, your eyes starting to the sky, pretending to stare at a bird who was hovering nearby. Hey! His voice startled you and made you jump, but still you didn't look at him. The bird landed on top of a nearby gatepost and its black feathers ruffled against the gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started to make his way towards you. Not wanting to seem too approachable, you folded your arms and stared, still unsure about him but willing to be friendly. You offered the stranger a smile. Your whole body was frozen in place, so we're not frozen. I feel like it's somewhere between these two things. Like, hey, like, what are you doing here? No, I'll smile, but like, I feel like I would like fold my arms and smile, like, hey, like I'm still friendly, but who are you? Um, the man gives a grin of his own back. Do you live around here? What's your? You look the man. Oh, sorry, I didn't actually read the thing. Do you live around here? What's your name? You looked the man up and down, taking his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made an assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Yeah, I live here. Like, here, general, like, I'm from around here. People know me, right? Like, the people here know me, and if you're weird, like, everyone knows me. They know my name. They know my mom's. They know, like, nah, yeah, I live here. That's great. He looked happy to hear it, giving you a broad smile. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him. Well, could you do me a favor? Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have let me start over. Yes, please. He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove. He's about your age. Cove. That seemed like the strange name for an actual living person to you. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. You thought it was this guy, he's total surfer bro. Totally obsessed with water. But I do like thematic names. So, yeah. He wasn't the only person like that in Sunset Bird. We moved in across the street, see? Okay. He gestured to the house that had been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. Sorry, I'm trying to move windows around. Alright. His watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be arysn0w, right? I met your moms earlier, and they told me you were 8 just like him, so... He took the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corners. Excuse me. Can you at least try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him.
Do you mind?
But you gotta keep it a secret too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. You eyed the man, you kind of felt sorry for Cove. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for friendship? I feel like if I were 8 years old, I'd be like, huh. Because, like, I'm sorry. Like, 8-year-old me, you don't have to pay me to be someone's friend. As a kid, you don't have to pay me now to be someone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, I'm gonna go with this. Like, did other kids really get their parents to pay for friendship? Had your moms done that for you and Lizzie, the thought made you frown. What do you say? You want to make a deal? I'm not gonna lie, though. I'm taking the money. I'm taking the money. Like, money is money. You carefully plucked the bill from his outstretched hand, grinning at the thought of what you could do with that much cash. Um, all the sweets you could ever want. You could buy a ticket for the newest movie at the cinema. There's a cute stuffed animal you had seen in a store in town. It costs a few dollars to set up a library card. With this, you could pay for yourself instead of having your mom do it. You weren't even sure yet. Um, I'm gonna go with the library card option because that reflects the character I want to play as. But like, let's be honest, I would also be very. Also, if it's only a few dollars to set up a library card, that means I have money left over. So like, maybe I could also get the stuffy. Because the stuffy is, ooh, multiple. Okay. Um. Yeah. You enjoyed reading a lot of different books. You could get everyone you like now. When I was a kid, I was a regular at the library, and just about every other week I would check out like 8 books, convinced that I would read all of them. I never did. It never happened. And that was just start. Stop. That was just a start. You thought the sky was the limit with that kind of amount. The man smiled at you, his eyes twinkling at the sides as he did. Oh, enjoy your popcorn. Great. That's great. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but well, I don't know where he's gotten off to. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, you thought he'd actually wanted to cry. Hold on, what's happening here? Um, oh, you don't know where Chloe has gotten off to, and so, okay. You lost your son. That's not ideal. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. Uh, what was the request? If you see him, can you tell him? Yeah, no problem. Sure thing. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. He knew that, but you were still going to help. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Your mom's already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Now I better go too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. Oh, okay. So the reason he was sitting in front of my house was because my moms were already helping him. That's cool. Okay. Uh, slightly less creepy. Like not entirely, but slightly. Um, I thought he might come back, and that's not what's important. I have to go. Thanks again, Ari, so much. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. Step 1. First sight. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. You've always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. You loved to hear stories about the sea, about the merfolk and the sea serpents you imagined living. I don't even have to read the third option. It's that one. You didn't enjoy the beach all that much, especially the sandwich had absolutely everywhere. Nope, fantasy all day, every day. Sometimes you could almost convince yourself you had seen the flash of a shiny mermaid's tail in the distance. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try to relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. There was a boy sitting at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you'd found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have green hair, wavy eyebrows, huge glasses, pink casts, sad frowns. The thing I noticed first, obviously, is the green hair, but also, like, green hair. Also, hmm. Okay, so these are apparently both blue, so it looks like either way I'm thinking in the same vein. But this new boy did. I think deer actually have none of these things. I'm a biologist. I don't know. I think you could definitely find a frowning deer with casts that have been placed on by biologists such as yourself. You watched as it fluttered softly around his face in the breeze. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, then another, and then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. Uh, are you lost? With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fists at his side. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining with a few more. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink hat seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said stuck out to you. Cove? I- Eyes wide, he studied you. How'd you know that? You touched the money in your pocket, feeling it crinkle beneath your fingertips. I met your dad.
Oh.
So, is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. No. I always get worried about, like, you shook your head because I'm like, am I shaking my head no? Am I shaking my head yes? I don't actually know the difference between the two on default. You can't own a hill. The earth is not a dead thing you can claim. Why not? How could you? You just do. I had a hill back home. Well, but still isn't mine. Oh. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers, too. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as you asked the question. Almost like they'd never stopped, his tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents, they don't want to live together with me anymore. Oh. Oh, honey. Oh, no. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took me with him, and now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cole's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. It's definitely not the bottom two. You'll like it here, you just have to get used to it. Stop crying. Jeez. I'm sorry. Like, what else do you say? He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Poe wound himself up again for another long crying fit. Oh, baby. You felt bad for him being forced to come here with no choice. You couldn't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your moms. It must be pretty hard. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Harry!
Cove?
Cove! Oh, kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. You have to go. You can handle it. Don't worry so much. It will be okay. Listen, if I don't have the option of hiding, which is what I thought we were about to do, I'm gonna gambate. Gambate. It's gonna be okay. You were struck by a sudden need to reassure Cove. It's not gonna be all fun, but isn't he your family too? Yeah, I guess. Then you can count on him when you really, really need him. You shot him a grin and pushed yourself to your feet. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked toward the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm.
Sorry.
I still want to go. You wait silently with him. Yeah, I get it. You do? Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad even closer than before. There you are, bud! The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you and they rushed over. Ah, it is two moms. Confirmed. Um, Both of your moms were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. Ari, you're here after all. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's visible on y'all's end, but every now and then the screen flashes in a weird way. Um, I don't know. Ari, you're here after all. We had been at the park to check for Cove, and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off further away. We're okay. Don't worry. Thank God you're both fine. Were you two having fun out here? You looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. Uh, he's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. What? Uh, yeah, no, it's kind of looking hologrammy in a weird way. Hold on, let me see if I can. Yes, I like him is the objective answer. Um, all right, let's see. We're good here. Good here. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why things are going a bit hologrammy. Um, Checking all of my techie things on my end. Okay, it definitely seems to be a feature of the game, maybe. Um, it might be one of those things that I'm not supposed to know what it does yet. He nodded, smiling slightly. Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you.
That's a relief.
Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Ari knows this whole area so well. Absolutely, we should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us all. Say goodbye, Cove. There might come a day when I try to do different voices for all of the characters. It's probably not going to be this day since I'm still trying to get a feel for everyone, but something tells me it's going to really behoove me to create voices for all of the characters to kind of try to distinguish between them. Um, Absolutely, we should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us all. Say goodbye, Cove.
Bye.
The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading toward the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared.
Hmm.
Tell you what, we'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? It sounds like words. It really do. Sure, I can show my stuff.
Of course.
Man, okay. Both of your arms laughed, the sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mommy put her arm around your shoulder and led you towards the path. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Okay. This is how you feel towards. Choose your feelings for Cove. This is how you feel towards Cove in this next step. It can change in later steps. Okay. So I actually choose. Um, I'm going to say I'm definitely fond. Like I'm definitely not indifferent. Um, I'm actually gonna say nervous. I know I didn't choose many of the nervous options, but it's kind of like this, hey, new kid. Is this going to be a friend of mine? Is this going to be someone who we get along with? What is this new kid like? So yeah, fond and nervous. I'm gonna say. I'm also gonna save here. Um, and yeah, nervous, fond, ready. Um, Begin step one at nervous fondness. You won't be able to change it again until step two. Oh, I'm committing. I'm committing to the bit. Yeah. Um, yeah. I'm gonna lock it in. Nervous fondness. At the breakfast table the next morning, you finished your food faster than usual. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but you'd stayed put. Today, just like your mom had promised, Cove was coming to hang out. Excited to see your new friend again, Erin? You nodded, smiling slightly.
How sweet.
I'm so happy he moved in.
Okay.
With that said, are you done with your breakfast? Uh, your bowl was entirely empty, so you nodded. Mm-hmm. Good job. You should be here soon. Cleanup began, and then on cue there was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know, I know. Harry, could you get it? Wiggling out of your chair without really pushing it back, you made your way to the door. Excuse me. Arysn0w family, thanks for having us. Mr. Holden, as your moms have called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him and mommy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. Pleased to see your new friend again, you smiled at Cove. He smiled back with some hesitation. You twisted the threaded bracelet on your wrist. You twisted the crystal bead bracelet on your... Okay, so they're all bracelets. I think I have a crystal bead bracelet. Do you want to see my room?
Okay. Take care.
Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids.
See you.
See you later, son. Play nice. You led him to your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. There were lots of stuffed animals, a cool bed, a window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. He leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I like this. Did you hear that? Cool. You smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed it. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the walls. You hoped you liked your room. You had put a lot of effort into making your room as nice as it was. You hoped he didn't say anything bad about it. Then his eyes landed on the tiny box of beach things he collected tucked away by your door. He took a step towards it before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found on the beach.
Oh.
Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box into the middle of the room, you and Cove flopped down next to it. Yeah. You gestured to a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand. This is a good collection. I'm tired. You got the sense from his tone that he wasn't just saying it to be nice or to be like Shiloh. He actually meant it. Curious to know who Shiloh is. Shiloh is coming over. Let's find out. Shiloh? My sister's friend. He wants to meet you. Do I have to see him? It'll be okay, I think. Here, I found this shell in a log, and you pulled out seashell after seashell, explaining where you'd gotten each one and holding them up against the light. There were big one, small one, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. For the past few years, you even learned some of their scientific names. Listen, that's me to a T. The collection was so huge and varied that you had lots of funny stories to tell for all of them. Your voice faltered a bit, but you kept going as best as you could. You had a whole picture book dedicated to different shells and sea life. You learned a lot by flipping through its pages. Apparently fascinated either by the stories or by the shells themselves, Cove listened with what looked like the full force of his attention. It was a new experience to be the center of such dedicated focus. But Cove hadn't been mean to you, so you didn't mind. You smiled at him every now and then while showing him your collection. Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mommy wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guessed it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not that a parent made it happen. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was a part of that would be a bad idea. Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room ready for Shiloh's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. I brought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. Okay, but be careful. I will. You weren't sure if you could trust someone else with your treasure yet, so you stayed next to him while he opened the lid and peered inside. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, like initially, like I am big about like people like not touching my stuff without permission, but like the at this point in time, like everything seems like he's number one, he's just a kid. Number two, like it seems to be like the thing that's like grounding him in this situation. Like there's a lot of anxiety, but he's really enjoying the shells. So it's like, hey, like next time, ask. But in the meantime, just be careful. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh. Like he hadn't spoken aloud yet, he turned to you and held it up, his eyes shining. I think this one is the best of them. I don't know if it's my favorite too. I like a different one best. I can show it to you, or you can take it. I don't. Okay, so it's not going to be this one. I definitely. Meh. Um. I'd probably do this one. Be like, hey, oh, you like this one? I really like this one. You reach into the box to take out the one you preferred. Cove looked on with interest. So the two of you were still sitting on the floor, looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, he figured it was probably Shiloh. He knew where to look for that. Lizzie's friend? You nodded, but that didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was already obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. I'm sorry, there's nowhere to go. He's at our only door, and if you go upstairs, we'll find you. Cove glanced around the room, his eyes wide, and finally paused with his gaze locked onto the back of the house. I feel bad. Like, if he doesn't want to meet, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm not the biggest fan of like forced interactions, and so I'm like, if you go upstairs, we'll find you. Like, let the boy hide. I could go out the window. Yeah, no, this boy has anxiety. He should go to the bathroom or something. He won't follow you in there. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, you stepped forward, then paused. Alright, do you want to break your other arm? Shiloh is the least scary person alive. Cheer up. Shiloh's gonna like you. Please don't get hurt. I'll come with you, or good idea, let's go. Okay, so, not this one. I don't know Shiloh. It's gonna be one of these two. Maybe it's like, hey, cheer up. Shiloh's gonna like you. Like, I'm clicking it. He likes everyone. I mean it. But I don't want to see him. I don't know. That's fair. You comforted or encouraged. It's not gonna be the first one. We're not teasing him. Probably encouraging. They'd be like, I get it. Meeting new people is scary, but like, it's probably best to know more than one person in this neighborhood. Trust me, you'll be okay. Okay, he seems very unhappy. I feel so bad. Shiloh poked his head into the living room. It was impossible to know for sure if he'd heard what you'd been saying or not, but you guessed that he had.
Hi.
Hi, Harry. Shiloh is not what I expected. I'm not gonna lie. I think I expected him to be like a bigger kid, like possibly like a rough and tumble, like himbo almost, like heart of gold, but kind of. But this is not what I was expecting. I'm curious. Okay. Hi, Cove. Cove shot you an uneasy glance. Hi. I'm Shiloh. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, you have a lot of freckles. Right, I do. What are you guys doing? We're looking at
Can I
shells.
do it too?
Awesome. Can I do it too? Cove shrugged, then looked back at your box of beach findings. What about that one? The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach thing some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Cove was having fun. You held out a recent find to Cove, a scallop shell that had washed up on shore. It's a pretty color, kind of like my cast. The beautiful glittering pink did look a bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink is a nice color. Okay.
Oh?
Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. It might be yellow. Okay, that's funny. That's funny with all of the options being like he Cove doesn't know who he is yet, so like that was a little okay. Oh, those are all cool.
I guess.
I like those colors too. There are better colors, not. I need to get sleep tonight. I need to get good sleep tonight. We're not sure how to deal with the suddenly more awkward silence because of that. I like those colors too. Yeah,
Awesome.
both of them smiled. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Shiloh didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you, either. Is Lizzie coming back?
Aw.
Oh, I skipped. Is Lizzie coming back? Don't know. Aw. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach, probably. Is she playing at her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of the park and he looked towards you. There's a park? Yeah, but it's old. Okay, hold on. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you had even answered, and Shiloh jumped up beside him in excitement. Hold on, let me check and make sure all of my things are running correctly. I want to make sure I don't... Okay. Cool. All is good. Alright. He started getting up before you even answered, and Shiloh jumped up beside him in excitement. Really? You do too, right, Eri? The park is fun. The park's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right at the beach, so there's lots of fun stuff to do, and lots of sand. It has a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. That sounds like it could be cool. So, are we gonna go find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just checked the park out. Valid. Adrift without any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your mom, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your mom that it was so short she should always be allowed to walk there by herself. When you found her, she was hanging on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie. Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. I love how she has brown eyes and I have purple eyes. Like, that is the most anime character-esque thing I could have possibly chosen. Eri, Shiloh. Hi. She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand, and in a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You were used to being left out and it was just the three of you, but now Cove was here. You wondered if he would leave too. Who's that? I'm wondering, okay, given the fact that I have red hair, first of all, I didn't know I could choose that shade of red. I somehow missed that, but I prefer that shade of red to the one I have. But I find myself wondering, like, does Lizzie look different based on the design I chose for myself? Or if it's like, hey, everyone's adopted, you can look however you want, or like, however that works. Who's that? It's Cove. He's new.
Hi.
I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. I'm also noticing that she also has, like, very much so more of a rounded face, sort of like my character. Just interesting little. She gestured widely with her arms as if to present the area to the newcomer. Without interrupting Lizzie's speech, Cove whispered in your ear, quiet enough that the others wouldn't overhear. I thought kids couldn't own places like parks or hills. 1 second, I'm going to send a quick text. Cool. I'm checking on the status of dinner. I thought kids couldn't own places like parks or hills. You couldn't help but laugh a tiny bit. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wriggle your toes to the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. You are? Yeah, I am. Who else could handle the job? Lizzie is the oldest, by a lot. My mom said you're Aries' age.
Yeah.
Thought so. I'm still the only one in the group with double digits. What about other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh is just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth.
Oh.
For a second, it looked like he might cry again. Oh. But something in his eye shifted and he looked back at Lizzie. What kind of old people? Like moms and dads or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have any kids. They hate kids. Why? We haven't done anything. Somebody please give this child a hug. Oh, I or maybe he doesn't like hugs. He needs support. He needs okay. Um Only some of them don't like kids. He interjected quickly, hoping Lizzie wouldn't take things too far. Cove sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Shiloh was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Ari in school. You'll see tons of kids there once summer is over. I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end. Shiloh looked down to the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up conversations with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. At Shiloh's discomfort at how weird she thought Cove was at something else entirely, you didn't really know, but she laughed, face scrunching up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take a seat, put up your feet, and get used to it. Uh, You offer him a small smile, and that, at least, looked to reassure him some. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and on some days when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life, the way sun and lunch and the beach were. During your first summer together, you really liked Cove. He was a fun person to play with, and he seemed to like playing with you too. Of course, that was only the start of things. Oh, oh my goodness, is that a baby? Thank you so much. Much appreciated. I have food now, and I'm very happy with it. Okay, so and then so I can only choose one option then. You know what? I'm choosing fireflies.
All right.
I did not fully consider the ramifications of requesting food at such a time as I also have to read. All right, tonight we're also going to catch fireflies. You know what? Actually, for now, I think I'm actually going to save this. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna save it here. Um, and so that way we can actually start with the fireflies when we stream next. I'm gonna go ahead and X out of this for now. Yep, and then do the handy dandy little thing that I can do now. Um, okay, so I'm going to end a few minutes early. I normally try to end around 9, but truth be told, I am very, very tired. I'm very, very hungry. And so I'm actually going to do this radical thing of like listening to my body. And yeah, so initial thoughts. Very, very fun. Very, very enjoyable. Um, I don't have a ton of experience with visual novels. Like, I definitely have more than I'd say like the average person. Like, my current special interest video game is Fate Grand Order. Um, and that very much is a visual novel with combat elements, um, like a strategic card-based combat elements. I've also played a lot of visual novels that involve like escape rooms or puzzles or things of that nature. But I think this is the first time in a while that I've actually just sat down and played a visual novel. And honestly, I'm really fond of it. Like, I really enjoy just being able to interact with the character. It feels, okay, this is going to sound weird. It feels, a, it scratches a similar itch as reading did when I was younger. And I say reading did. I don't I don't read like books as often as I would like to. Um, I read a ton during my master's program, and I think I kind of got out of the habit of reading for fun, and I'd like to get back into it. Um, and like on a regular basis, like I read articles and various things like that, like articles and um, really lengthy like blogs and other sorts of social media posts. And when doing research, I will also read like academic articles and journals and things of that nature. But in terms of like sitting down to just read a book, I've kind of fallen out of the habit. Um, but there's something about being able to um, play a visual novel where there's something about like the sounds and like seeing people's facial expressions that kind of like takes a little bit of that like barrier away where I'm not just staring at paper and hallucinating. um but like it brings it to life in a new way that I really really appreciate. And I also really appreciate the fact that it's not just dialogue. There are still those like character tags of he looked back down at the ground and continued crying, like that sort of like I appreciate that element because a lot of the visual novels I play don't have a lot of those elements. It really is just dialogue. And I'm someone who writes a lot of dialogue, but having those like character tags and those actions and whatnot, that still feels like, for lack of a better word, like good to read, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that makes like any sense whatsoever. But yeah, long story short, I was kind of hesitant to play because I heard people say like, you know, it is for the most part like a visual novel. There's, the gameplay is the visual novel. But knowing that like all of my choices could have an impact on the trajectory of the story is super exciting. And I am really, really excited to continue figuring out where things go. So we're going to pick up with the Firefly scene. And I am going to wrap things up about 10 minutes early today. Thank you so much for joining us. I also had a lot of fun, and I'm also very much looking forward to seeing more. And I am also looking forward to seeing y'all back next time. Um, but in the meantime, please remember that you are wonderful and that the world is a better place because you're in it. Um, Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you again next time. Bye.